Welcome to the Grizzly&Grim podcast. I am Joe with my co-host Grim. To the ones out there who don't know us, let's give a little introduction. So you can go first, Grim.
My name is Grim. I am a demon succubus, and I'm 23,000 years old. I talk about life, I travel, I watch anime, and I play games. What about you, Grizz?
Hell yeah. So, I go by Grizz or whatever, but on YouTube and things like that, I go by Falk. You know, that's my big persona, Falk. But the reason I go by Grizz is because my name is, Theodore, aka Teddy. You know what I mean? And I like to play games. You know, I stream every now and again, also on YouTube and things like that. But we could talk about how we met.
So, to all my people who don't know, we are proud members of Easy Gang. Easy Gang for life. I'm an egg, he's an eggplant, you know what I mean? So, we just met in the Easy Gang Discord. What is that, about 2 years ago? A year and a half ago?
Probably been about 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
2 years, probably.
So long. But yeah, 2 years ago we met and we've been friends ever since. We worked on the news team. Go read their newsletter. It's really good. They have really good people on that team. So go support Easy Gang, join their Discord. I'm not here to promote it. I'm just saying you meet some really cool people in there when you sift through. You meet some really cool people who become lifelong friends.
Hell yeah.
I summed it up pretty good.
Met, like she said. Yeah, that's pretty good. When I met, I keep saying, I'm gonna cut that out. When I met Grim, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like kind of like an instant vibe because we just come through Discord, just chilling around and whatnot. You meet new people and you get vibes for certain people. And I knew that Grim had this certain type of vibe that I knew I could connect with like instantly. You know what I mean? Almost like a motherly type vibe. You feel me? So I felt like that was like the reason why we kind of like clicked and why we met and whatnot. But I don't know why it took us so long to do the podcast. I don't know. It took us a while, but
we live in totally different planes of thought, honestly. So that's probably why it took forever.
But as for if you want to catch us on anything else, you can catch us on all major audio platforms. Spotify, your Apple Podcasts, things like that. And you can watch the video version at Grizzly&Grim on YouTube. And be sure to follow the TikTok clip channel where all of our ADHD form content can be found. You feel me? So, as for my skin, I don't really know what's going on here. So I don't got my bear. I wanted a bear, couldn't get a bear, but it's whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe next time. Bear for sure. I'm feeling a bear.
He's in his human form.
Things like exactly.
Yeah, it happens.
Speaking of evolving. Right? Have you played the new Pokemon Arceus?
I have not. Tell me about it. I mean, I have the system, but I haven't decided whether or not I want to get it.
See, I haven't played Pokemon Arceus yet. I've been seeing a lot of great things about it. Some people are calling it like the best Pokemon game, or like it stands up to the test of time, like with like the old ones like Pokemon Red and things like that. I've always been a big Pokemon fan. You dabble in Pokemon as well?
I dabble in Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon will have to be all time Bulbasaur, just because it looks like a little toad frog, toad frog turtle, and it's not necessarily Squirtle variety, but it's a garden type. So, and when they grow really big, they act as a vehicle of transportation. So they're kind of like multi-purpose.
Mm-hmm. It's like that Let's Go Pokemon. You see you can ride on your Bulbasaur or your, what is it? What's the Venusaur? No, what is it?
The Venusaur is the evolved Bulbasaur, and then it evolves into the Venusaur.
I'm thinking about whether or not I should cop this game because it's a lot of every single Nintendo game is $60, and it's like how much time am I really gonna put into this?
I know that I've had the same thought when I bought Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing DLC pack released maybe a few weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, depending on when you're watching this. But I bought that DLC pack that is $24, and I haven't even touched it. But I bought it so that I could make the little cafe and everything else. But Casey Sunshine hasn't even visited my island yet, so I'm not even at that point. But I got the DLC pack, so when I get back into Animal Crossing during the summer, I'm definitely gonna have more time to really grind it out.
Heck yeah. And you know, I didn't even know they even had DLC. I thought everything was free in that game. But is it like, so like, what did they add to it?
So they added like a bar. So usually in order to get energy, you can eat fruit or like different snacks, but at this bar you can actually buy like food, like meals. So that's one of the big things. And I wanted to, every island has like a theme, so I really wanted mine to be like bakery type feel, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a big bakery person. I love baking, so I was like, this is what I want my island to be. But I've got my orchard going. I've got an apple orchard, a pear orchard. I've got oranges, which are native to my island, and then I've got some pumpkins in the back. Other than that, I have nothing else growing, I don't think.
You've never given me like an invite to your island. You know, I'm a little bit hurt.
It's exclusive. It's exclusive.
Got an invite.
It's exclusive.
It's like that.
Yeah,
your island's like that.
Yeah, you gonna need some. You know what I mean? It's exclusive. You gotta be on the list.
Same.
You gotta be on the list.
I remember I used to hit licks on Animal Crossing. Like, I used to go to like People Island, and like they would like, we do like a trade, and I'd be like, send the bells, like give me the bells first. I used to get the bells and I used to dip. Now let me tell you why I did that, right? Because I was a broke ass. Like, I still owe Tom Nook money, bro. Like, it's like kind of sad. I think I have like right now I have like 9 million bells, so I have the money to like pay him, but I don't want to pay him off. He's like, I hate Tom Nook. I don't want to give him no money.
Tom Nook is greedy. I can't take out any more loans until I, figure it out. Until I pay him back. That sucks.
All he does is try and catch licks on everybody else. So I'm like, why not I go hit a lick, right? That's what they taught me pretty much. They taught me to hit licks. So I might as well hit a lick, get some bells for free, dip out, and then don't pay Tom Nook. I just use that money to upgrade my island. And then when it comes down to when I want to upgrade my house, maybe add a basement or something, then I'll give him some bells. But till then, it's Tom Nook, Tom Crook running up the score on my ass. I ain't gonna lie. I try my best to try and make a living. You know, I have all my islanders. They probably all hate me. They don't like me because I don't ever show up. So every time I get on, they're like, "Hey, can I move?"
You're the public enemy for real.
Exactly.
Speaking of public enemy,
move? I'm like, no.
Speaking of public enemy and like really iconic hip hop legends, did you watch the halftime show? Phenomenal.
I did. I did.
Well, since he didn't, I'll let you guys know. So Super Bowl is a big football, the American sport, not soccer. It's a big event, and there was the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals, and the LA Rams won the Super Bowl. And the halftime show is the most anticipated show of the entire year. It's heavily televised, everyone's watching, so the performance has to be spectacular. And they had Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar.
What?
It was great. It was
I'm not gonna watch
amazing.
it back.
It was amazing. Watch it back. Next time we come back, you gotta tell me what you think. It was amazing. And they gave a big shout out to Compton. It was the first Super Bowl to ever primarily feature hip hop and rap as the main music.
Really?
Yeah, and they sang all their iconic songs. Eminem sang his arms are sweaty, knees weak. Spaghetti is nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on. I was like,
they might gotta put.
No, 50 Cent. He sung "Everybody in the Club Get Tipsy."
Right.
And they
might gotta put you on the Super Bowl halftime.
You know?
Oh no.
A VR Super Bowl? VR Super Bowl halftime? Sign me up. Sign me up. I perform.
We get on the VR Super Bowl football team.
Yes.
I was just gonna say I can't get enough. Like back in the day, I used to be really into. What is that noise? My bad. I used to be really into like football back in the day, and like nowadays I can't watch it. Like I can't watch. It's just so boring. And then when I heard the Rams and the Bengals, I think this was the Bengals, right? I don't even remember. Like I just can't. I can't. Like it's like the most. I'm not gonna say it's like the two most boring teams. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to get shot or nothing. But it's like, I don't know. Like I like teams like the Patriots and the Eagles and the Steelers and
A little more
the
well known.
Broncos.
Let them
and
have
like
a little bit more history. A little more beef to their story.
I can definitely see why people would want to watch it, because you know those two teams being in the Super Bowl is like insane, especially for like the people that grew up there. Oh my goodness, they were probably so like excited just for their teams to get in, because you know I think one of the teams hadn't won a Super Bowl in like 20 or 30 years or something like that, and they were like in the Super Bowl after all this time. It's like it's exciting. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, that would probably be both teams. Haven't been there since like the 90s.
Good on them, you know. They put in the work, put in the effort, and they got there.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm trying to do the same as them.
I'm trying to be
I'm saying Kendrick Lamar did his thing. He did "We Gonna Be All Right." He did that song. It was great. They did
you know,
Gin and Juice. One of my favorite songs. G-Unit. G-Unit.
That's your heart. That's your heart.
R.I.P. Nate Dogg. He would have definitely been in that Super Bowl performance had he been alive. Oh my God, he would have set the bar. Woo! He would have set the bar. And crazy. You know, in the video, if you've never seen the 50 Cent "Everybody in the Club" video, he does. At one point in the video, he's upside down on a bar because he's working out. He's like this cyborg type rapper. That's kind of how he made his debut. Yeah, so he's supposed to be like this superhuman, robotic rapper who has this insane flow. That's kind of like his little every rapper has their own lore. So that was kind of like his little lore. So when he opened for his song, he actually came you know how you do pull-ups with your arms. He was actually hanging upside down on a bar, and it was really cool because he was upside down singing, like he was in the music video.
I can talk all day about these different rappers and whatnot. Those rappers, really, I think the ones I really listen to is Eminem. Now I'm not even gonna say I don't even really listen to Eminem nowadays, but Eminem, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite artists, so I definitely gotta watch that.
It was really good, and they crip walk. A televised crip walk.
Yo, was crip walking?
Yes, they were. So was Snoop.
Televised crip walk is crazy.
It's a big day. It's a big day.
You know, that's fine. But I also seen the NFL got FaZe and the YouTube group AMP, right? I don't know if you know who AMP is.
I have no idea.
You know, you don't know with I don't know if you know of Duke Dennis, Agent 00, Davis, Phantom, what I say? Who else I mean? Kai Cenat. This is like a bunch of different black YouTubers. This is a fully black YouTube group with also Chris next door. Can't forget him, the editor. It's a fully black YouTube group where they just make content, and they were like, I'm not gonna say they were sort of a inspiration for our group. You know, I don't want to promo, but you know, the Treehouse. So, you know, I'm on a little black guy group or whatever, and I feel like they're like a pretty big inspiration. You know, they're the next up and coming YouTube group, and it's just a bunch of black guys. So they grew so crazy over the last year, and they were in the freaking, they were in their own little category. So they were it was the NFL flew them out to play against FaZe in a flag football competition, right? So it was FaZe versus AMP for the Super Bowl weekend, and I don't want to spoil it, but you know, AMP came out with the dub. So that was huge, not only for them but also for, you know, it was Black History Month, so they came out with the dub because, you know, the FaZe group is a little, I think it's more white, it's a lot more white people in it. So they kind of came out with the dub for also all the black people, and that was one of the biggest events. And they also just went to the freaking NBA All-Star weekend. They had a whole event for that too.
That's cool. Crazy. I mean, the amount and the influence that these up and coming black YouTubers are having is immensely inspirational.
It's crazy. It's really inspirational, you know, for the black boys and black girls. for the black girls and black boys that want to get into YouTube. These guys right here are the ones that we're going to be looking at to, you know, one day get our names on the map, you know, get our faces up there, go crazy.
You want to make an impact for the people that are looking up to you, for the people that are watching you, for the people that are wanting you to make those strides so that they can follow that same path and they can also be successful. So that's really what it is.
It's like, if I had to think of like the most inspirational, I'm trying to think who do you say like you inspires you the most, like with content creation? Because, you know, you're a streamer as well. You know, you get, you know, do you dabble into like the YouTubes?
I do, right? Dabble a little bit into the YouTube. Yeah, I do. I like, if you guys have ever seen any movie commentary, I had a phase where I was like super into movie commentary. And I love like Trin, Danny is in Trouble. I love all of them. So I really like the ones that comment. I like Danny Gonzalez, Curtis Connor. I love like Cody Ko, Noel Miller. They're all good inspirations. Like
hell yeah.
TMG all day. Short Kings forever. I love them. They're great. I recently got into Moist Critical. My partner really enjoys Moist Critical. He's really cool. And always Berlin. Berlin. I've been watching, oh my God, I've been watching Berlin since I was in college. And I graduated literally last summer. Like, my favorite all-time video, I don't know if anybody's into that niche. I don't know if any Easy Gang members will watch this, but there's an Ape Escape video that, like, before he did the Walking.
I know what you're talking about.
I think it was before he did the Walking Dead series. It had to be one of his big series.
It was like one of his first videos, honestly.
It was like right before. It was like right after he did one big series. He took a break and he did like a couple of nostalgic videos from his childhood, and then he did another big series. I don't know if it was
I think it was after Outlast.
It was after Outlast, before Walking Dead, and there was like a little couple of months where he did some nostalgic videos, and he was wearing this like beanie. And he was talking about like the monkeys and Ape Escape. It was so funny. So I took a break from Berlin for a while because like I'm not really into Walking Dead. I'm not really into horror games or Outlast. But then what really got me back into him was when he played Danganronpa. When he played the first Danganronpa game. I was like, period. I love the train.
I was amazing.
It was so good that I had to watch the anime, and the anime is also very good. So I know all the...
It is amazing. That's good.
The Danganronpa lore is just good. I want him to make it through what he's playing right now because it's a different spin-off. It's like a different gameplay style. It's more like... it's more like Persona 5, I guess you could say. It's not really like you're deliberating or you're going to trials. I felt like if you wanted that type of feel, I would have just skipped. You know, it doesn't really add anything to the story, so I would have just skipped the spin-off game and went straight to number 3. Because you already played 1 and 2, so I would have just went straight to 3.
If you're a Danganronpa fan, go ahead and leave a like on the goddamn video. No, Danganronpa is really great. Like, I think one night, like, I was just watching his videos, and I kept seeing Danganronpa, and I kept skipping it because it didn't like nothing I would like. But I'm like, these videos are pulling views. Like, there's got to be some reason why people like these so much. So I click on it. I watched the first episode. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I watched the second episode. I think the second episode had the first killing in it, and I literally was floored. I could not stop watching after that. I think I watched almost like 20 episodes in like one night. It was crazy. It was insane. It was so like the one of my favorite binges of all time on YouTube, without a doubt. Like, that made me like want to really start YouTube, because I think
my favorite binge of YouTube of his videos is by far Corpse Party. Oh my god, that is so good. When he played Corpse Party, I was there every single episode. I'm like, girl. You remember when he played Corpse Party? When he played Corpse Party, I think that's when his Discord went, like, all the, like, not like the OG Discord that he made, but the fan made Discord was really like, there were like really a lot of like original fans in there who didn't really want drama. Man, that Discord, you know, is just a legacy. I'm not in that Discord anymore, but a legacy, truly. There's some really good people that are still in there, so.
Right. I feel like that time period was great. Like around that time, like where he was still uploading Dangan, like when he was still like on the second part, the Danganronpa 2.
Dangan 2.
That was crazy.
It was wild. He was streaming. At that point, I was streaming. I was starting to stream. It was crazy. I got affiliated. It was crazy. We were popping.
Right.
We weren't working yet.
I wasn't even on like, and it's like, I think about the time back when I first started streaming, it was so much more like a thing I did for fun than the thing that I really had to put time into. Like now that I think back on it, like the amount of time that I put into my streams today is like, it makes it more of like a job than it is like of like just for fun. Because I think about it like, okay, I gotta plan out every stream. I gotta see what my audience, because back then I didn't really have like an audience. I was like more of like just people would just join in the stream. I'm just trying to grow. But now I have to try and focus. What does my audience want to see? What is, you know, it's different. It's crazy looking back on it.
It's like, honestly, for any of y'all who want to stream, I say don't even worry about the viewers. They'll come if they come. Like, just stream to your heart's content. I mean, really, when I was in the peak of not even having a job or anything, I literally streamed a dusty ass Sims gameplay on my PS4. Like a dusty ass $12 mic, and I still made enough money to buy myself an iPad and start making my art and digital content and all that kind of stuff. So as long as you have the drive and you just have that hunger for it, I don't see why you couldn't do anything you wanted.
Facts. If I could give any tips, because like I'm not, in no way is my big streamer, but if I could give any tips, like I'm like in that like gateway between being a small creator and, you know, just starting to get actual like people in my stream consistently. It's like, if I could give any tips, it would definitely be to one, yeah, like you said, have fun. Just have fun in the beginning. Don't worry about views. I turned my viewer count was off. Well, when I first started, my viewer count was on, and every time a new person would join up, I'd be so happy. But now I just turn my viewer count off altogether. Like I haven't had my viewer count on in months and months and months, just because I don't like seeing if you could see who's gonna be like who's watching you, you start acting a little bit differently, you know. If you know that there's 30 people in your stream, you start acting differently than if you're one or two.
Right. But
you should always be the exact same consistent excitement, same consistent energy the entire way through.
Right. And like with that, like content burnout is such a big issue. Like make sure you take breaks, make sure you make a schedule. And even when you make a schedule, it's always subject to change. Like you're your own boss at that point, you know? A lot of people go into content creation thinking about the money and not thinking about the fact that they're creating. They're an artist at that point, and artists always get burnout. So sometimes when you experience burnout, do things that make you happy. Do things that don't stress you out. Take a walk, talk to your friends, listen to our podcast. Anything that you like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Anything that makes you happy, anything that brings you joy. Like the reason for this podcast, I think that'll definitely bring me joy, is that it doesn't feel so there's a bit of not human, and then there's a bit of human added to that, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like you're watching a video game, but it's not a video game. And you can have us in the background or whatever. I mean, I'm excited for this podcast. Speaking of, this is new.
Exactly.
This is new territory.
Episode, you know.
Yeah.
It's the first episode of many, and I'm excited to, you know, go on this venture with Grim, because we're gonna, you know, we're gonna. I like to, you know, I like to bring. If there's anything I could do, you know, I like to talk a little bit of like my experience, because like I feel like growing, you know, getting bigger in this like content creation. If it's not even just content creation, but like is in general, like networking, making new friends, and just trying to learn as much as possible. If there's anything I could tell anybody, if anybody has any questions about anything, you can ask me or Grim anything in the comments, and you know, things like that. I'll be glad to. I know we'd be glad to answer them.
Yeah, and definitely feel free to email us too. Email is always open. We're always checking it, so I definitely
email us at grizzly&grim@gmail.com.
Yeah, you said email us. You said let us know. But this,
you know, it'd be cool if we got
wild.
people call in. That'd be crazy.
You know, a little phone like ding-a-ling-a-ling. That'd be cool. You know,
ding-a-ling. No, ding-a-ling is great.
What sound does a phone make? Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Ding-ding-ding-ding.
Ring, 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 ring.
It's called what is it called when a phone rings? It's called there's a word for it. It's escaping me. It's escaping me. What is that word for when a phone rings? Tilling?
Tilling? Is that what it is?
Like a tilling of a phone? It might be. But if you look at our description, you can see that we have two words. And those two words are things that we're going to talk about and that coincide with kind of each other. So the word that I chose means remembrance. It means to remember something. It's a word that I wanted to match with his, but it's also a time for reflection. So me and him do a lot of reflecting together, especially when we talk. And I think a lot of reflecting and self-reflection on the decisions that you've made, on the decisions that others have made and how they've affected you is essential for growth. What do you think? You think it's essential for growth?
Now, yeah, definitely. Reflection, self-reflection, reflection on your entire life in general. That is super important for growth, is not only as like, let's say, a creator, but as a person, as a human being.
I think it's just...
I just don't really understand it. I'm sorry. How do you pronounce that word that you have? It's like the word that you put. What is it? And how do you pronounce it? Anemius,
I believe. It's sort of like amnesia, but it's the actual action of remembering. That's the definition that I've used. Yeah, it's the actual action of remembrance. So, not necessarily being nostalgic, but definitely remembering. This past week, I had a really interesting week. Speaking of remembrance, and one of my really close friends actually passed away. And so for the first time in my like adult life, I went to a funeral, and it is jarring. It is so surreal to see someone that you just talked to just no longer here. And it was wild. I talked to her family, I told them I'd visit more, because I'm moving closer, not to her family because, but I'm moving closer up near her family. So I told them I would definitely visit more and, all that kind of stuff. So.
Well, when you said, they're no longer here, I wouldn't say like, in the physical for sure, like, but spiritually, things like that, they're always here. They're always going to be here. Just, if you just think, sit back, close your eyes, I promise, like it's really crazy how much you can really like sense their presence. You can feel them in certain different moments. You know what I mean? They're always going to be with you, and I'm sorry to hear about your loss.
Yeah. And if anybody else is going through loss, you can definitely feel free to vent in the comments, and we'll definitely respond to you, because it can be so, like, especially if you've never experienced those things before, it can definitely be extremely emotional, extremely jarring, like, just like the amount of times that you just go in and out of crying, I definitely experienced some of that. And, we're doing things in order to immortalize her. We're doing things in order to keep her memory alive. And that's all I think she would really ask for, you know?
That's great. That's honestly great. And that kind of coincides with the word I chose, which is anarchy. I chose the word anarchy because in a lot of the times you can find yourself in a place of anarchy. Anarchy, if you don't know what anarchy means, it's like, think of like just a lot of confusion, craziness. It's just a lot of things thrown at you at one time. You can think of, you might be going through anarchy right now listening to this podcast, and it's just know that you're not alone, because we all go through it. We all have had moments where we've all been, we might have been having a great day or a great week, and then something just happens. In a snap, everything just goes like, it feels like your world got flipped upside down. Shout out to Will Smith. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of things in life that can just be taken away at an instant. That's why I feel like remembering, like you said, remembering all the great moments, all of the memories that you've had with somebody, or with any, just of any moments that you've had. Like, let's say you go to like a DreamCon, or you go to, you just go out with the friends, have a drink, or have a laugh with anybody that you care about. Those all are, subject to remembering. Remember those, because you never know when you might be in a place of anarchy and you need to, reflect. And you need to just have some time to yourself. Go on that walk, like Grim said.
Anarchy is something that I feel so strongly about, because it's an emotion. It's what happens because of that chaos, because of that anger, that sadness. That's what I think of when I think of anarchy. It's just like this big ball of, a dark cloud that's just looming over you, and it's all these mixed emotions. Right. And how are you going to deal with it? And, what do you do? Which we've actually experienced together, with friends and stuff. And it's just, it's something that I am extremely grateful. Like, the holidays tend to bring a lot of anarchy sometimes, with people that feel disconnected from toxic families, or feel like, they're by themselves, and it can create this big cloud of chaos. And I'm grateful that amidst the chaos that we both experience, we're still friends. We're still cool, That was a wild ride.
So much happened in such a short span, causing anarchy, not only with personal relationships, but with business. It's just like, you start to think like there's things that you could have done to, just like what the reflections for, because there's things I feel like I could have done differently to stop that anarchy from even happening in the first place. I could have had talks with certain people to stop all that happening in general. But it's like, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
I definitely feel like that. Like, after things happen, you're like, what could I have done differently? Do I regret my decision? Do I regret the way that I moved? Do I regret not even knowing, not even acting on these things? Like, I definitely feel that.
Sorry, everybody. I feel like a lot of us live in, regret, and it's like, there's nothing that you can do to change the past. The only thing you can do is change is the present and the future. Well, the present is going to reflect the future. That's all you can do. Just being the best you today is going to create a better setup, a better life for you in the future. Like, if you want to do YouTube and you want to go crazy thinking about, okay, in a couple years, I want to have this many people watching me. I want to have this much influence in the world. Well, only way you're going to get that is if you start that today. Start that tomorrow. Whenever day you start, just know that, it's not going to just come out of thin air in 5 years. It's crazy, because if even though, like, this is more like some more personal, like, even though I'm not where, I'm not 2 million people watching me on Twitch, the people that I have watching me today, what I never would have thought I'd ever get to this point. It's like, it's so like surreal. I'm not even at that point where like I want to be, but it's still like surreal without a doubt, it's like I can't understand like that I was able to amass this amount of people who want to watch me just fucking play a video game or do some shit like that. It's like it's insane.
Right. I feel like having so many people that just relax by just hearing others talk, it can make you feel less alone, and it can make that anarchy feel less real. And if things are like swirling around and, you know, all those emotions, I'm a very emotional person. So that's definitely something that is worth remembering, is that other people always, you know, may need someone to talk to. You know, we're social creatures. We can't, you may be an introvert, but that doesn't mean that you need to keep everything bottled up, you know? I definitely agree with that.
Things like that. It's super important being true to yourself and not. This is more like of a mental note for me, because I can find myself sometimes not being too true to myself and true to what I know.
Right.
But
because you don't want to get yourself lost in the content. You don't want to get yourself lost in the community, you know, because are you truly yourself authentically after that? What do you think?
That's a very good point. That made me actually.
Is it not?
That was a good ass question. That was very good question. It's like, if you get so lost up in your brand and your content, and you're no longer doing what made you happy to begin with. You know? Now it's the only thing making you happy is the numbers, and you start to get like sidetracked. Okay, today I'm gonna play this just because everybody else wants to see me play it.
Right.
It's like, if you can't make a viewer base that's gonna watch you for whatever you do, then it's like, what's the
What is the point? Both sides can ask the same thing, you know, people who believe I want to be authentic to myself, and then people who get lost in the content creation. And how do they get back to their authentic self without having a scandal or without discrediting everything that they've started? How?
Facts.
I believe that there's no real correct path. I believe that that person should assess the things that they've amassed and take in their community and have a real conversation with them, you know? Because if you can't have a real conversation with your community, then you are not attracting the people that you want to be attracting.
Wow. That's actually like very, very good.
Thank you.
Very.
Thank you. I make good points sometimes. When I'm not, you know,
every once in a while.
23,000 years, you gotta know something, you know what I mean? So
you get some knowledge every
every thousand, a couple thousand years, you know. You grow up a demon, people think, you know, you're always on demon time, but we're smart, I promise you.
Always on demon time, man. Every once in a while. You know, you gotta be demon every once in a while. Man. So like another thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, since we're like currently we're in the VR space and whatnot, we gotta talk about, you know, metaverse. Biggest new thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about the metaverse. So, I kind of did my own research when joining VR chat because it's so prevalent amongst like the 23 to like 27 age range, and the adult community on VR. So VR chat is a 13 plus game. You can create private worlds. You can create your own avatars that can be uploaded for free, as long as you know how to use the Unity program. So if you're not familiar with Unity, it can be used to make like a lot of indie games. So itch.io is where you find a lot of indie games. That's where like Slenderman first came out. That's where Doki Doki Literature Club. That's where Doki Doki Literature Club first came out. So that is where you get that small base community, and a lot of people who design avatars and who design different things like 3D models. They can use them and actually see them move in real life, not in real life, but in virtual life, I guess you could say. That is the metaverse. You know, having an Oculus, having a Rift, and then there's different variations of how you experience the metaverse as well. I didn't know if you knew that,
right?
But this is like my favorite topic.
I didn't actually know that.
Yep. So currently, as you can see in this podcast first episode, he's currently on PC. So PC, he doesn't really move. He can emote based on what is available to his avatar. So he can't use every single emote, but he can emote. As you can see, I can use my arms. I can kind of tilt my head because I'm on a Quest, or you are on a Rift. So I'm on the newest version of the Oculus Quest, which I received as a gift, which was very nice, and I'm very grateful. And the Oculus Quest comes with 2 controllers. And then from the Oculus, you can upgrade to an FBT. Do you know what FBT is?
Full body tracking.
Full body tracking is so... full body tracking is basically where you have trackers all around the room. Usually people will have they will have 2 monitors, 2 PC monitors, and those monitors will solely be for full body tracking. And a lot of people, and this game is free, so if you have a laptop, if you have a PC, you can experience a taste of the metaverse for yourself. So I experienced it on PC for a couple months, and I really loved it. So got a Quest, and I don't think I'll invest. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, how was your experience in the metaverse? But you can continue.
It is right now. I would think in the early stages. Think like the Atari. That's basically what this is right now. It's really, really, if you guys are video game console nerds like myself, then you know what I'm talking about. CeeLo Green, Atari, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But this is like the Nintendo 64, so we haven't truly upgraded yet to the DS. We haven't upgraded to the Game Boy. We haven't upgraded to the Wii. You know what I'm saying? Like, our console has not upgraded, but it is coming very far because you have a lot of small content creators. You have a small digital artists that are constantly uploading onto the platform. So really the metaverse is split into 3 types, but within those 3 types there can be different variations. So if you have full body tracking, you would be a PC user because your full body tracking is connected to your PC. I can also airlink my Quest and I can see PC avatars, but I don't because my Wi-Fi is boo-boo garbage, so I don't. But I could get a cable that can link to my computer and allows me to see the PC avatars. And that cable's like $60, I think. But
you can get one, the one I have like that, it's like you can get one for like $20 on Amazon, maybe like $10 on Amazon. That's like the exact, well, it's longer. It'll be longer than the Quest Link, and it's like the exact same thing. That's what I use.
Or you could do what our mutual friend Zeddy does, and he does virtual desktop.
Virtual desktop.
And he logs
That's what
on.
I use just because my internet
is boo-boo garbage.
Zeddy has like NASA. NASA has Zeddy. Zeddy has NASA internet, so he can do anything.
He don't got boo-boo garbage. He don't got boo-boo garbage. He can launch rockets. Right. So
rocket.
I have met the most amazing people on VR. Like, experiencing VR is something that, like, I would not change for the world. Like, so many people on VR have so many different stories. It allows people to express themselves and also relax. There are a lot of people, and I'm saying people, adults, so 18 plus. There are a lot of people who sleep in VR chat. Who will make a private world such as this. You can see yourself. They will make a private world and essentially they'll just sleep. They'll treat it as their own room, like their own, virtual house. So it's kind of like Second Life. So I don't know if you're familiar with Second Life, or if some of you youngsters are familiar with IMVU.
I don't know if IMVU was like an older thing, right?
Second Life came out before IMVU.
Second Life, I remember Second Life because I used to watch YouTube videos on it, and like I used to see people like buying properties and stuff. I was like, wow, that's actually insane. Like they would buy properties with real money, and they would like, you know, like host like parties and stuff like that.
Same thing happens in a VR chat. So 18 plus people who play VR, they often go to clubs. There are clubs that you can go in on VR and you can just talk to people, and it's like a big, like I said, don't know how old you guys are, but when I was younger, I went into a lot of like chat rooms or like Discord, where you have like a lot of voice chats, kind of like that. But VR allows you to have like a little avatar that you can kind of see and see move. So it makes it a little more immersive than just being in IMVU or being in Second Life and using a typing on a chat box. Roasting people in a chat box, you can actually hear their voice. So that makes it extremely immersive. But yeah, so as I was saying, FBT is used in ways you wouldn't even understand, like NSFW ways you would not even understand. I would not even begin to explain unless you guys wanted me to explain. I know a lot of people have questions about
You can do like a separate. Yeah, no, we can do that with the bonus.
A bonus. So if you want our bonus episode, where do they need to go? Patreon. Where we gonna put it at?
That's actually, we could put the bonuses on Patreon, like when we make one. That'd be actually like a great idea. But for right now, we're just gonna put it on YouTube. You know what I mean? We'll put it like, it will age restrict it. We'll make sure we age restrict it so that, yeah, so that not the, you know, but it's gonna be, we're gonna be talking about like the, you know, the other like the parts
full
of
details.
VR chat.
Yeah, the full details. I wouldn't say, don't get me wrong, I did not do anything in VR chat. I'm happily taken. But I definitely asked people and I got the answers, and they were very truthful, and nobody really is ashamed in VR. Like they're very like, here's what we do, here's this, here's that. So one of the things that's, you know, SFW, so safe for work, if you didn't know what that meant, is there is a culture behind mirror huggers. Do you know about that?
Mirror huggers? Mm-hmm. What's that?
So mirror huggers, so you guys can't see with the camera right now, but in front of us is a mirror, so we can see ourselves move and talk to each other if we so wanted to. But a mirror hugger is someone who turns on a mirror and they just sit there and look at their avatar. That's a mirror hugger. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. So like, what do they normally do in the mirror? They just hug each other?
No, they just sit there. They hug the mirror. They just sit there and look at their avatar.
I've seen people do that before. Like I'll join a world and people will just be in front of it, just talking, just chilling.
Like chilling. Another thing is what's very common. So there is no like, so usually when you greet someone, you might shake their hand, you might give them a hug if you're like that type of person. But usually in VR chat, you usually give people head pats. Have you experienced that?
I've been patted by you. No, Crypto also is Zaya's patted me on the head. You know, it's not. So like that experience is like, it's like, you know, if I'm in VR, I don't know, when I'm in VR and somebody's like tapping my head, it's like, okay, what are you doing up there? Because like that's if I'm using like a shorter avatar. But if I'm like, I don't think I've ever given out the pats.
So usually they happen when someone has like a taller avatar. So if you were taller and we were friends, you kind of like, see, pat my head.
Head back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's like, it's just like saying hello or like, hey, like I'm not like toxic. And a lot of people, the last point I'll make about the metaverse, because I feel like I'm just rambling on about the metaverse, is a lot of people will crash your game. Have you ever experienced that? That makes me.
So on VR chat, I've been like in like a game and somebody will join and then like a bunch of stuff will pop up on my screen and I have to like instantly Alt 4. So, or Alt F5. I think that's what it is.
So people have different codes and programs that they can use in order to like make your game buggy or aka crash. And then it'll prevent you from using it. And a lot of PC users will do it to Quest users because, I don't know, there's unspoken beef, I guess. I'm doing other investigations about that, so that'll come up in the metaverse news soon. I've heard that there are different gangs based on avatars. There are creators here who are despised. There are creators here who are despised. Yes, there are gangs in VR chat. There are creators who are...
there's gangs.
You gotta explore. You gotta explore VR.
See, I do know that people like, okay, so what'll happen is, because like the Oculus, so we're talking about like the Oculus Quest, for instance. The Oculus Quest is using because it is a standalone VR system where you can log into it, you can play whatever you want without having a PC. They have the first one has a mobile chipset in it. So with it having a mobile chipset, you know, even though which is unbelievable because it's so freaking powerful, what'll happen is it has a certain amount of RAM in it. So what the person will do, they'll join the world and they'll overload that RAM, which in turn causes it to crash the system. So it'll crash it. So those problems don't really occur from as much as like for me. Like if I was using my PC, it'd take a whole hell of a lot of shit to crash my PC. Like you'd have to use a lot of stuff to overload it. You know, like like in the past, I might have been playing it with my friends and somebody joins up and tries to crash it. It won't crash. He just looks stupid and I'll just start roasting him. But if my friends that are on Quest, they'll start getting like they'll like crash their headset, and then it's messed up because it's like, why are you trying to ruin everybody else's experience type thing? I don't actually understand. I actually don't know I know the Quest 2 has more powerful hardware. I don't know what type of chipset it has. So I don't know if it's using like an actual PC chipset, or if it's like an AMD or an Intel, or if it's using another mobile one. Because I know the Quest 1 is using like a Snapdragon, like a state of the line Snapdragon chipset. But I don't know what the Quest 2 is using, and it's probably a lot. I don't know. I know it's a lot more powerful because, you know, the Quest 2 has more FPS. It has a bigger field of view. It has the tracking is a lot better. The cameras are a lot better. You get a lot less motion blur, like motion sickness from it. So I'm not entirely sure what it uses, but I know it's very advanced.
I have no idea what RAM the Quest uses. I know that sometimes it can be buggy, but what I do appreciate is that when you don't have Wi-Fi, the Quest 2 actually works really well on a hotspot. If you're in a jam, it works really well on a hotspot. And you can stream Netflix to Quest, so you can put your headset on and you can watch a movie.
Yeah, no, that's like one of like the really great experiences. You can sit down and watch a movie with your friends or by yourself and just chill out on your bed, watch a movie. And it's like, another thing I like to do is literally just I load a Beat Saber and start playing it with no Wi-Fi. Just start just jamming out to something. I love Beat Saber so much. Definitely probably my most played game on this on the Quest.
Right. Along with different metaverse news, Zenith just got released. I believe a month ago.
I've been playing that.
You've been playing
I've been playing Zenith.
You've been playing Zenith?
I've been playing Zenith.
How's it been? It made me extremely queasy. It is fun, but it made me extremely queasy. I have not played it since.
It's insane. You gotta play it for like an hour and a half at a time, because not only do you get queasy, you know, your head gets a little hot because, you know, like it's like using so much power from your Quest. It'll like heat up your headset, and it's like, oh, swear it'll heat like by the time you're done, armpits drenched, everything's drenched. You're like, and then your head hurts. You just gotta sit down and just do something else.
Right. But Zenith is really cool. I was on their Discord for a little bit, and then they got raided, I think, by some trolls.
Oh.
So I left that Discord. But yeah.
How does like a Discord server so you know, it's literal like gaming Discord. So like, you know, people put a lot of like, they probably have like staff there that are being paid to take care of that Discord. It still gets rated out. That kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah. My Discord doesn't get rated. Your Discord doesn't get rated.
It's like the only way you could get rated is if somebody, I feel like the only way you get rated is somebody on the inside where to give somebody permissions, or maybe like somebody like that like wasn't like the staff got like their account hacked, and that makes sense.
Right. A lot of experiences with Discord happen that way.
Along with the metaverse, we spoke about the metaverse, like, not, it's like, it's a big thing. It's like not only is it like a thing like where it's like fun, you can hang out and stuff, but it's like there's there's gonna be real estate. There's gonna be like people are like going in there trying to buy up real estate because they know like in the future metaverse is gonna be like the next big thing. So they're like, okay, people want to have metaverse homes, which is gonna be, it's like a thing. People are gonna want to be making. There's gonna be probably people making houses and people buying up the market and stuff like that. So people like are really trying to get in on the opportunity. Do you know anything about that?
I do know that people make worlds, and at this point, which will probably be discussed in another episode or bonus episode, I'll get into more detail about avatar buying. But a lot of people have custom made avatars. So the avatars that we're wearing are currently public avatars. So you can find them. We can send you a link to where they might be in case you are interested in wearing them as well. Because I think my avatar is pretty cool. And I think his avatar is pretty cool. But as you get more into VR chat, you might want something that just represents you. So you might go into like a club or something, and a lot of avatar creators hang out in clubs. Let me tell you, a lot of them hang out in clubs, and a lot of them are in the furry community. So I would say if you want a really well-made, functional avatar that's very smooth, then definitely go to those places to go.
Really?
Because they pay like $250 a pop. $250.
What?
Yes. $250 for everything that they want. And most of the, like I said, will be discussed later, but most of the people are dancers who wear like FBT who work in those clubs.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's anybody out there that's watching the podcast, if you're a fan, you can always send us, I'm down for a custom avatar, you feel me?
Yeah. A custom avatar, any digital custom content will be showed at the end of the episode probably. I made the icon, so I made the I drew that myself. I do be doing.
Be doodling.
I be doodling and drawing and noodling and oodling.
Facts. And with that, honestly, I think we can go and wrap up the first episode. Let's see. Do you have anything else you want to say? You want to say to the viewers?
Oh my goodness. If you are interested in following my art page, hit that bby.grim on Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitch. I stream every now and again, but as my work schedule becomes more consistent, I'll probably stream on the weekends, which is new news. I have a new job, so I'll probably be streaming on the weekends. So you can follow my Twitch at Grim Reaper's Baby Mama, and I also have a Twitter at Grim Reaper's Baby Mama, possibly. I don't remember my Twitter. Reddit, Grim Reaper's Baby Mama. So literally almost anything is Grim Reaper's Baby Mama, and that's GRIMREAPERSBABYMOMMA. It's very long, but it's mine. So anything you want to add, Falk? Any plugs you want to make? Plug it on in. Plug it in.
Heck yeah.
Plug it in.
I can go and plug real quick. If you want to go ahead and watch me stream, I stream all the time. I say I stream Tuesday through Saturday. I stream Tuesday through Saturday around 5-6 o'clock p.m. to about 10 o'clock, something like that. If you want to join, you want to become one of the Cubs, go ahead to Falk Live. If you want to follow me on YouTube, follow me on Falk. I just changed, I just rebranded. It's no longer Teddy Noir. I'm now Falk on YouTube as well. So I would appreciate it if you came through. You don't got to, you know what I mean? If you just watch the podcast strictly, I'd appreciate it a lot. Remember, once again, if you want to watch the video version, if you're listening to the audio version, you want to watch the video version, you can follow us at Grizzly&Grim on YouTube. And make sure to hit that noti button, you know what I mean? And be sure to follow the TikTok clip channel so you can get all of your ADHD form content and you can get all the funny clips and everything like that. We're also going to be posting the bonus on the Grizzly and Grim channel if you want to hear about the NSFW parts of VR chat and things like that.
Yes, it's informational. If you're old enough, it's informational. If you're into that, definitely.
Hell yeah. Once again, it's been Grizzly and Grim. You know what I mean?
Guys.
Thank you so much for coming through for the first episode of the podcast. See you in the next one. Bye.